What's up, everybody? It is the Vanguard Show, and I'm here today to bring you my updated murakumo deck profile. Terribly sorry for the recent disappearance. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff at home and whatnot, and just trying to, figure stuff out. That's usually why I take most of my breaks on this channel, but I'm going to try and upload more stuff. I go to my locals a lot more often than I used to, so yeah, you can expect a lot more matches, discussions, interviews, etc., etc. I'm going to try and get some news videos in, especially with the new ban list or restricted list. But anywho, we're going to start with the starter. This is my Murakumo Legion deck. The starter is Koken Maru. This one, but this is an alternate art I did. It looks like Majin Buu, so I thought might as well make it. People think it looks like Kid Buu. I'm like, but I'm a large man, so I'm going to stick with the Big Buu. So, starting out with the grade 3s, because that's how we do it. We do grade 3s, 2s, 1s, and then triggers. We got for the break ride. I've seen a lot of builds. Honestly, this is the best one, because when you break ride the Legion over it, you get more copies of the Legion to your hand, which then lets you re-Legion each time if you need to. It's really good, honestly. I've seen other builds, like things with a thing from Fighters Collection. I've seen people run Mandala Lords or Zombakus. It's just not. I just feel like it's not as good. Like Zombaku's kind of dead because, yeah, you break ride, you make them discard a card, but they still get +10 if they do something silly. It's really only good against cross rides or if you ride over again with Legion. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's not good. It's just too slow. Yes, I do have to wait for a limit break with this, but I mean, it's just a thing. It's no big deal. So, yeah. Then on to the grade 3s. I run 4 Amio Stealth Rogue Saime. He is the Legion. He is return 4, becomes base 20 for the turn. Counterblast 1, choose one card within your Legion circle. Search for up to 2 copies of that unit, call it to rear guard. At the end, you put them to the bottom of the deck in any order. So what you usually do with him is, as long as you have the copies in the deck, which you should, call the grade 2 out, and I'll get to that when I get to that part, but you always want to go for the grade 2, then copy a booster, and you just make an entire column, or no, not a column, you make an entire field for a counterblast, which is really good, because that's kind of what they needed. So it makes it a lot more powerful and a lot more aggressive. So on to the grade 2s. We got Saime's Legion mate, his wife, Kozunaha, I believe, if I pronounced it right. Probably didn't, but oh well. Her effect is Soul Blast 1 when she's placed on Legion. When she's placed on Rearguard. If your Vanguard's in Legion, you may pay the cost. If you do, copy a unit that's not her that on the Rearguard, call it there, put it to the bottom of the deck. So, like, I'll have an AK Vanilla behind my Legion. I'll Legion call two of her. Soul Blast 2, copy the AK, put the AK behind her. I just made two 16k columns and a 31k column before triggers. So it's extremely good. Next up, for the 10k vanilla, it's a solid ride target. It's a good rear guard. There's really not much else to say. It's just extremely good, obviously. Then I run 3 white main. The fact that you counterblast a little bit in the deck, like the main, because the break ride and the Legion both counterblast, this is still a viable rear guard and just viable card. So, hence why I run it. Next up for grade 1s, we run 4 of the Perfect Guards, no Quintet Wall. I could see how the Quintet Wall would work in this deck, but it's just not as good as just saying no. Because like, there's always the potential of you Quintet Wall into nothing but grade 3s, and I just don't want to take that risk. I'd rather just waste 2 cards out of my hand and then send it back. That way I'm not even minusing myself with Legion. So, 4 of the 8k vanilla. It's mandatory. It's your best boosting target for your Legion. Your backup boosting target is Night Panther because he's a good 7k. And if you have to, like, you'll have to waste some counterblast if you feel like you absolutely need it, but you can make him an 8K booster. I personally don't do that. I'd rather leave my counterblasting for Kagura Bloom and Amio. But again, player preference. And then my tech card, my 2 tech cards are Susurok. His effect is when you on rear guard, you can Soul Blast one to switch him to a different rear guard. It can be in a different column, so I'll call him next to my Vanguard. Soul Blast one to fill up the graveyard for the Legion, call him as a booster, and then swing with something, and then retire him. That way I can still Legion earlier if I absolutely have to. So his only purpose, if we ever got a Soul Blast 2 draw 1 card, that he would be replaced immediately. But since we don't, yeah, I mean, there's nothing really else much to say about that. 4 heals. We're getting into the triggers now. 4 heals. And I run 12 crits. Badoop. And badoop. I run the 12 crits just to give the sack factor to put more pressure on my opponent. I am tempted to drop at least a set of crits for draws because you kind of need a hand size and to get to the cards you need faster. But I don't know. I'm a little hesitant on it, but honestly, it's just whatever. I'm going to keep test playing around, and yeah. Alrighty, guys. Like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below if you like my deck. If you don't like it, oh well. And yeah, this is the Vanguard Show, signing off.